Service territories are still dealing with high winds. We're going to take another live look outside using the Mission Ridge camera. Now, earlier, Cedric Haynes had said the big S word, which is snow. Cedric, are we for sure there's going to be some snow here in the Tennessee Valley?
Yeah, I think we're going to see some snowflakes flying in pretty much most places across the Tennessee Valley, and some folks may see a little bit of a ground whitening going on here later on this afternoon and evening. But out there right now, you notice the clouds, those continue to thicken and lower. So if you look at the radar, you may be seeing snow on the radar and saying, I don't see anything falling in my backyard. Well, the problem is we've got some very dry air in place. Dew points down in the low teens, the temperature's in the upper 20s. So there's a spread there, and we've got to get that number to come closer together to give us a little chance of some snowflakes. And I think that will happen as we get kind of a kick in the energy later on this afternoon and evening. Right now, you can see everyone warming up quite nicely. This morning, temperatures were back down into the teens in most spots, so we have definitely added about 10 degrees on all of these numbers, up to 32 now in Dalton, 27 degrees in Murphy, Blue Ridge at 27, 28 in Athens and Cleveland, 28 degrees currently in Scottsboro as well. So here's what I mean. As you take a look at the radar, it looks like it's snowing all over the place here, from Pikeville to Dunlap, Dayton, Athens, Cleveland, down towards northeast Alabama. But the problem is, as that snow is falling from the clouds, it's running into that layer of dry air. So that layer of dry air just kind of eats up or gobbles up all the snowflakes before they make it to the ground. But eventually we'll get enough moisture and the atmosphere will moisten enough to start allowing some of those snowflakes to make it to the ground. And here's where I think that's going to happen. You can see there's a little bit more energy showing up here back across Arkansas and northern Mississippi. And this is kind of a burst of snow that's taking place here. So this is enough energy to kind of, as it moves on off towards the north and east later on today and grows a little bit, will be enough to hopefully kind of moisten the atmosphere enough to get some of those snowflakes to make it all the way to the ground. So as we look at Futurecast, it's doing a great job of showing, hey, yeah, there may be snow on the radar, but none of that is making it to the ground. That starts to change, though, as we get towards this afternoon. 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, first across the northern half of the area, we'll likely start to see some of those snow showers making it to the ground. And then as we go into the evening hours, I think that will slowly start to sink towards the south. So basically starting in the afternoon commute and beyond throughout the evening hours, look for patchy areas of scattered snow showers across the area, some of which could put down a nice little covering of the ground, or maybe a little bit more in some spots before all this kind of starts to wane and fade out as we go towards the midnight time frame. That will be followed by clearing skies as we move into your Tuesday. So as far as how much snowfall we could see, again, this system is going to be moving by fast. It's called the Clipper because it doesn't really give time to slow down. So it doesn't have time to pick up moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. It has to make its own moisture, but it's very efficient in basically wringing out any extra moisture that's available in the atmosphere. So think about a wet rag or a sponge. If you take that and you squeeze it, what happens? Any extra water comes out. That's what this disturbance is going to do to the atmosphere. So that's why we could see a little bit of snow out there today. But again, here in the cities, we're thinking maybe a coating on the grounds here. That's going to be about as much as we'll be able to do there. If you're north and east of the city, up towards Dayton, Athens, over towards portions of Monroe County, maybe up to a ½ an inch. Same thing down towards the higher elevations in northeast Alabama, over in Jackson and possibly DeKalb counties. But about a ½ inch or less is pretty much the story as we go throughout the day. The other thing you'll notice is, again, I think many of us will see our temperatures at least briefly climb above the freezing mark as we go throughout this afternoon before those snow showers move in. But still, the ground is already frozen, so whatever falls and makes it to the ground will likely stick around here, but it's not going to be that much. We'll drop down into the low to mid 20s here with those flurries overnight, and tomorrow we begin a big warming trend, mid 40s for high temperatures. Man, that's going to be like a heat wave. Here's your Storm Alert 7-day forecast, 36, 45, now we're in the 50s. Now we're going in the right direction. And look at that, Cornelia, by the weekend, we're in the 60s. The problem, maybe some rain for New Year's Eve.